Gabriel lay motionless on the couch, staring up at the ceiling. Days blurred together now. An endless stretch of time where everything felt heavy. He couldn't remember the last time he showered, the last time he ate anything substantial. His mind dulled by the weight of hopelessness. Outside the window, the evening light began to fade, casting long shadows across the floor. The world outside moved on, uncaring and indifferent. Inside, he was frozen, trapped under the crushing weight of his own despair. It wasn't that he didn't want to move. He simply couldn't. Every task felt monumental. Every small effort drained what little energy he had left. It was as though some unseen force held him down, keeping him tethered to his inertia. He couldn't imagine ever feeling differently. Then, from the stillness, a presence stirred. It was subtle at first, a shift in the air, a soft hum that seemed to resonate not just in the room but deep within his very being. Gabriel closed his eyes, not knowing why, but feeling compelled to listen. And in that silence, a beautiful voice spoke. "You feel lost," the voice said softly, gentle but commanding, like the low murmur of distant thunder. "But you are not forgotten." Gabriel's eyes opened wide, his heart suddenly racing. But there was no one there. But he could feel the presence, strong, calming, and otherworldly. "Who are you?" Gabriel whispered, his voice trembling. "I am Ida," the voice replied. And as the name was spoken, Gabriel felt as though the very stars trembled in acknowledgement. But names are not what matters. What matters is what you seek. I don't seek anything," Gabriel muttered, shaking his head. I just want it all to stop." Silence followed, a heavy pause that made Gabriel's skin prickle with anticipation. Then, softly, Ida spoke again. "Do you know what you are made of, Gabriel?" Gabriel blinked, confusion crossing his face. "What I'm made of?" "Yes," Ida continued, her voice gentle. "Your body, your mind, your very essence. You are part of something far older, far greater than you've ever realized." The world around him shifted, dissolving into an infinite expanse of stars. Gabriel floated in the midst of the cosmos, feeling as though he had become one with the universe itself. "You were once part of this," Ida said softly. "The stars, the galaxies, the light and the dark. Your very being was born from them. You've traveled through time and space, and now you are here. And in your life, you carry that same power." Gabriel's breath caught in his throat as he watched the cosmic dance before him. The swirling of galaxies, the birth of stars, the endless creation and recreation of the universe. The scale of it all was overwhelming, yet somehow it felt familiar. A deep sense of belonging stirred within him, though he couldn't understand why. "Why are you showing me this?" Gabriel asked, his voice small in the vastness. "Because you feel insignificant," Ida replied, her tone softening. "You believe your life has no meaning, but you are part of something greater than you can imagine. Every fragment of you, every thought and breath has traveled across time and space to be here, to be you. That is not insignificant." "But what does it matter?" Gabriel said, shaking his head. "What does it matter if I came from stardust or nothing? I still feel useless." Ida paused, and Gabriel felt the weight of that silence. Then the world around him began to shift, bending and warping until it became something new. When the transformation was complete, Gabriel found himself standing on a barren planet, with towering peaks and valleys carved by winds that had blown for millennia. And then he saw her. She stood on a ridge, her figure illuminated by the distant glow of a galaxy being born. Her form was tall and elegant, draped in robes that shimmered like stardust, catching the light of distant stars. Her silver hair, long and flowing, seemed to blend with the sky itself, as if it were made of the very fabric of the universe. Her eyes, though soft and kind, carried the weight of countless eons. Gabriel realized this was the voice, Ida. But seeing her in person was more than he had expected. She was not just powerful, she was timeless, ancient in a way that transcended human understanding, and yet there was a gentleness to her presence that eased his fear. In the sky above, a group of beings worked together, their hands outstretched toward the stars. Each motion was graceful, deliberate. They were weaving light and matter, fashioning something new and immense, a galaxy, a star, a world. Gabriel could feel the energy in the air, vibrating with life. "Who are they?" Gabriel asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "They are my kind," Ida replied. "The world builders." As the creation neared completion, Gabriel noticed something. The world builders began to depart, their forms dissolving into the vastness of the universe, one by one. But one of them lingered, watching over the new world they had just fashioned, their luminous forms still as the others faded from view. "Why is that one staying?" he asked, his voice thick with emotion. Ida, still standing beside him, gave a gentle nod. "You've noticed," she said softly. "That is our way. When we create a world capable of bearing life, one of us stays behind, to care for it, to nurture it. It is our greatest sacrifice and our highest honor to be the caretaker of a world." Gabriel's gaze shifted back to the solitary world builder, and he saw both the weight of their solitude and the quiet strength in their stance. There was a bittersweet contentment in their eyes, a deep understanding of the significance of their role. "Is it lonely?" Gabriel asked quietly, his voice barely above a whisper. Ida smiled softly, her gaze distant. "I don't know yet," she admitted. "Someday I will find out. But for now, there is still so much left for me to create." Gabriel stood in silence, his heart heavy with understanding. There was something comforting in knowing that even the most powerful beings had to make sacrifices, that their strength came not from avoiding hardship, but from embracing it. "Why are you telling me all of this?" Gabriel asked softly. "Why me?" "Because you too are a caretaker," Ida said, her voice like the soft hum of the universe itself. "You may not see it, but your life, your existence, has meaning. You are part of the universe's creation, just as much as the stars and the galaxies. And just as the world builders care for their creations, you must learn to care for yourself." Tears welled up in Gabriel's eyes as he realized the truth in Ida's words. He had spent so long feeling disconnected, lost in his own despair, that he had forgotten the simple act of caring for himself. "I don't know how," Gabriel said, his voice breaking. "I don't know how to start." Ida placed a hand on Gabriel's shoulder, and in that touch, Gabriel felt the warmth of 1,000 suns. "You start by understanding that you are not alone. You are part of something far greater than yourself. And just as the stars continue to burn, so too can you." The stars around them began to fade, and Gabriel found himself back in his living room. The weight in his chest was still there, but it felt lighter somehow. The world around him seemed brighter, more vibrant. "Thank you," Gabriel whispered, though Ida was no longer there. The voice of the world builder echoed faintly in his mind. "You are not alone, Gabriel. Never forget that." And for the first time in a long time, Gabriel believed it. As you settle into sleep, take a moment to reflect on the journey Gabriel experienced, a journey through the stars, witnessing the intricate beauty and power behind every creation. Just like Gabriel, we too are made of stardust, shaped by forces far beyond our understanding, yet deeply connected to the universe around us. Every challenge we face, every moment we live, is part of that greater cosmic tapestry. If tonight finds you feeling heavy or weighed down by worries, sadness, or even hopelessness, know that you are not alone. These moments, though difficult, are part of your journey. And just like the stars that shine brightest in the darkest skies, you too have the strength to endure and grow. The universe moves through cycles of creation and renewal, and so do we. Take a deep breath and remember that even in moments of darkness, there is light ahead. Whether it's a small step or a giant leap, you have the power to move forward, one breath, one day at a time. Rest now. Allow yourself to drift into peaceful sleep, knowing that you are part of something vast, beautiful, and full of hope. Let go of any weight you may be carrying on your shoulders, if only for a moment, and allow the stars to guide you into rest. Good night.